Leo, my name is Audrey Alison. Thank you for joining me for your March forecast for 2017. What a month. This is really going to work for you in the fire sign area, Leo. All of this month has to do with the sign of Aries. And whatever happens in Aries will trine any placements that you have in Leo. So we love this for March. Thank you for joining me. I'm just going to jump right into the forecast, and while I am discussing the astrological forecast, I'll be shuffling the Morgan Greer Tarot deck. Got this deck in New Orleans about 2 years ago, and I've just been using it the last 2 months. I'm very drawn to it right now. Decks go in rotation, and right now it's all about this deck for me. So, thank you for joining me, and let's start the forecast on the 2nd of March with an aspect that is happening again. Due to Jupiter's retrograde through June 9th, it creates another opposition on the 2nd of March between Jupiter and Uranus, an exact opposition. They're both at 22 degrees of Uranus in Aries and Jupiter in Libra. Something will happen globally here to try to elevate us as a society as opposed to set us back 100 years. So there's a push forward, because I say that not just because of my personal opinion, but because Uranus is a progressive planet, and there's nothing old school about Uranus. Uranus is about the internet and development of science and progression. So this kind of opposition is creating tension, but on a massive level. So that's what we're experiencing, not to mention just the cruelty of what is happening in society is astounding every morning when you wake up. But in this kind of planetary placement and opposition, this aspect for Leo will affect you personally in the area of foreign travel, higher education, and communication. The 3rd and the 9th house are affected for Leo. Through this time frame, you could be discerning a little bit of a struggle, but in order to elevate you in between the degrees you're getting, what you're studying, how you're studying. Do you take the local course, or do you go the full extent and do something for your master's or your PhD? For those of you students that this applies to, this could also apply to local versus foreign travel. Do you stay closer in the 3rd house, or do you take the big trip in the 9th and go abroad, go overseas somewhere? It'll apply differently to each Leo, so we'll see how that works for you. It could also be applied to your belief system, and maybe something with your siblings, the 3rd house of siblings and how you relate to them. And something could be happening here, how you're communicating with them. Maybe it's shocking. Maybe something shocking is delivered at that time between siblings. On the 4th of March, Venus retrogrades at 13 degrees of Aries. And this is also in the 9th house. Venus is conjunct Uranus. So as Venus has her review through April 15th, she then goes direct at 26 degrees of Pisces, and then enters this 9th house where she gets to influence this sector for you from April 28th through June 6th. And this could see a review of your spiritual self, your connection to the metaphysical, anything from acupuncture to Reiki to astrology and tarot. That's all in the 9th house, and Venus is reviewing this. She wants to smooth things over. She likes a smooth, soothing aesthetic and texture and energy to this sector. So this could be about reviewing studying and schooling, and online courses too could apply to this, because there's so many of that, and getting certifications is what the 9th house is, and some of that comes with online studying. So that could apply here for Leo. On the 9th, Mars enters Taurus. So Mars is conjunct Venus and Uranus as well at the top of the month. All of this 9th house energy, it's the theme for your month. works for you. It trines your sun or ascendant or moon in Leo, wherever you're watching this forecast for. And please do watch all of those, your ascendant and your moon forecast, to get a full scope for the month. But Mars into Taurus is now stamina, energy, and action in the career sector. This is about Leo ready to retire. We'll see this action take place if you're falling in that age bracket. This is also about Leo getting the career handled. Full speed ahead, action, action, action. And more so for the fire signs even before the cardinal ingress of the 20th, this is the first day of spring, because all of this energy with Aries is going to trine you, and Mars is going to help you push forward in the career even prior to the 20th. So take advantage of that. He's there 60 days with you here. In the career, you're becoming your own authority. A lot of Leos work for themselves. Hey, a lot of lions can't be told what to do. So you find that solopreneurial energy in this kind of placement, and maybe becoming your own boss. Maybe Leo does work with a team or a group or for someone else, but when Mars hits the 10th house and you're about to initiate your year of action and your first day of beginnings, you're cutting the ties here. You might start working on your own, becoming your own authority. Watch problems with authority figures, though. With Mars in the 10th for Leo, it could see an aggravation or an aggression with authority figures. Cops, road rage, not road rage itself, but don't get into any verbal spats with authority, because Mars there could see you very feisty to people who are trying to control you. And the Hierophant and the Emperor govern the 10th house. So anyone who's trying to oppress you isn't going to fly with Leo. So you got to watch how you're handling authority. You don't want to get clanked up and end up in the pokey over this. The pokey? I haven't said that in a long time, but I guess that's what I was feeling. Now on the 12th, we have our full moon at 22 degrees of Virgo. Now this is the sign directly after Leo, so this brings an awareness to your money sector, an ending to a type of earnings, or an ending of some kind of confident self-worth behavior, which isn't good. You need to keep your confidence. But if there's any negative self-talk, self-speech about what you are worth, that's clipped out. That needs to come to an end. But the full moon here is an illumination over the budget. What needs to be seen in money? Where is the unveiling in money? Where is your money? Who has it? Where do you put it? Full moon wants you aware of something. Maybe you missed a payment. It could be very easy that you missed a credit card payment, and the full moon is bringing that to your attention. A day later, on the 13th, Mercury enters Aries. So Mercury conjunct Venus, conjunct Uranus, and Mars having just left there, all of this Arian energy. Mercury wants to see you traveling, and Leo, it would be a great time to take a trip in March, because Mercury's direct, and right before the 20th, there's a beautiful space of a week where we can really chill out, hone in right before the time of action. There shouldn't be anybody sleeping late on March 20th. That is the day you want to implement action in the 9th house. That would be the best suited for you. Metaphysical endeavors, property, legal proceedings, what you're studying, your certification, your courses, course instructors, internet even could apply. And Mercury here wants to see you details, analysis, going over this 9th house with a fine-tooth comb. And then on the 20th, happy spring, happy cardinal ingress, vernal equinox in the northern hemisphere, and happy autumnal equinox in the southern hemisphere. But again, the sun conjunct Mercury, conjunct Venus, conjunct Uranus, all in Aries, all trining Leo. This is amazing for your highest self. Okay, this has to do with the midheaven in astrology, which is a position on your chart between the 9th and the 10th house. It's the highest pinnacle on the astrological wheel of your chart. all of this area is touching this pinnacle, the 9th house and then Mars in the 10th. So Leo is reaching the highest, ooh, I have chills all the way down the side of my face into this arm. This is my hearing ear too. This is where I hear information. So this all lights up when I'm onto something. And I'm onto something. So this midheaven, this is the, Leo is reaching a high status in career right now. Probably one of the highest pinnacle marks. We are entering this number 1 year, 2017, but the 20th of March is the number 1 initiating day. So it's a number 1 day in a number 1 astrological month, which is March, the Mars energy, the Aries energy, and then in the number 1 year. This is a catalyst day. No sleeping late. Get it done. Push forward. Take action, especially since you are fire, either your ascendant or your sun or your moon. It's a time to push forward. And then 7 days later, the new moon is at 7 degrees of Aries, conjunct the sun, Venus, Mercury, Uranus. It's like, hi, new moon intention in the 9th house. You can't miss it. You can't miss the seeds that you need to plant here, Leo. I want to see some fire in these cards for you. I also want to see a little coin action with all of this career energy. Let's see what happens. But I think travel is of the essence for Leo. Make sure you're back before the Mercury retrograde in April, in the halfway mark of April. So let's see. Leo, here are your cards. And when I drop these cards, I don't see the cards. They're dropped down in piles like this. So as I turn each card, there's 4 piles. The last pile, I use all of the cards in the last pile. But usually there's only a couple. So I don't see the cards here now, but as I turn them, I just get as surprised as you, because I like to surprise myself. Okay, fire, 10 of Wands. Yes, now this is a card of burdens, but you can release these burdens now, Leo. This is fire energy. You've accumulated all of these burdens because you're trying to get a lot done. You're trying to get a lot of tasks handled right now. And you know what I see as he's gathering them in his arms. And then when the 20th comes, or even the full moon, he's just going to let them all go. Like, I've handled it. It's a wrap. It's a done deal. Justice. This is the 9th house. This is legal situations. Some Leos are wrapping up what needs to be handled legally and pushing forward with attorneys, balance, reward, justice, redemption is all in that. This is also the sign of Libra, where Jupiter is headed, or where Jupiter is, and Jupiter is retrograde. And that is in the 3rd house of local travel and communication. Some of you are communicating with attorneys. This card has made it in so many readings. It is not the best, but I know that this is about releasing what you need to prior to the 20th of March. It's a card of a little bit of sadness and memory and feeling a little reminiscent of the remnants? Okay, whoever's a poet up there. Reminiscent of the remnants. Oh, what remains? Hello. What's remaining you can let go. And if you're getting a little bit, emotional in that period right after the full moon, right before the cardinal ingress, just allow it to take that sadness with you. Because your outcome card is the World. Look at the lion, and that's Leo. These represent the 4 fixed signs in astrology. Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. And you're one of the major players in this energy. The World is full circle. It's the most beautiful card in the tarot deck. Out of all 78, it's the last major arcana card representing complete, full circle abundance and prosperity. I'm getting emotional because it's an accomplishment for Leo. A Leo has accomplished something in career, high midheaven promotion, 10th house of recognition, and you have 2 major arcana cards regarding balance and what you're due and reward, and here's your reward. Here's the fulfillment of this. So I would say even by the end of the year, you're looking at this, but even by the end of March, after it turns into spring, you can expect to reap some reward, Leo. Let these go. Let the burdens go. You finished what you need to do. You've now accumulated all of your energy and you're ready to go in March 20th. And definitely let go of what you're remembering that's keeping you a little bit emotional and stuck. Because, who needs that? It's not conducive to this card. And, you can have this release through the full moon. I think this is excellent. I'm wishing you a beautiful March, Leo, and remember, the sky is limitless, so reach for the stars.